എല്ലാ വഴികളും എൻ്റെ മുൻപിൽ ശത്രു ബന്ധിച്ചു മുദ്ര വെച്ചാൽ, എല്ലാ വഴികളും എൻ്റെ മുൻപിൽ ശത്രു ബന്ധിച്ചു മുദ്ര വെച്ചാൽ, സ്വർഗ കവാടം തുറക്കുമെനിക്കായി സൈന്യം വരും നിശ്ചയം. സ്വർഗ കവാടം തുറക്കുമെനിക്കായി സൈന്യം വരും നിശ്ചയം. എത്ര ആനന്ദം ഈ ജീവിതം, ഭീതി തെല്ലുമില്ല ജീവിതം. കാവലിനായി തൻ്റെ ദൂതരെൻ്റെ ചുറ്റും ജാഗരിക്കും എപ്പോഴും. പാടുമെൻ ജീവിത നാളുകളെല്ലാം നന്ദിയോടെ സ്തുതിച്ചിടും ഞാൻ. പാടുമെൻ ജീവിത നാളുകളെല്ലാം നന്ദിയോടെ സ്തുതിച്ചിടും ഞാൻ. മാറാത്തവൻ, വാക്കുമാറാത്തവൻ, കൂടെ ഉണ്ടെന്നരുൾ ചെയ്തവൻ. മാറുകില്ല, വാക്കുമാറുകില്ല, ഒരു നാളിലും കൈവിടില്ല. മാറുകില്ല, വാക്കുമാറുകില്ല, ഒരു നാളിലും കൈവിടില്ല. Praise Lord. I thank and praise my God for this blessed Sunday morning to come before you all and to be a living testimony. As you all know, from the last 6 months, I had a very hard time in my life. But I believe that I'm here today, it's only because of prayers. And I believe prayers has a lot of power. And I thank my God that He enabled me to come and stand before you all as a testimony. I know I don't have much time in front of me, so I just want to start with my testimony. Many of you all know my testimony, but still, it's good to give thanks to God at all times and to never forget what benefits He has done in my life. In the end of February, I started with a normal temperature. I should come to church. I used to tell Pastor Ji to pray for me, and it looked like a dental abscess initially, but then the GP, they told me it's flu, it's maybe COVID, but all my reports came negative. And one sudden day, my bloods went really down. So my WBC counts, my neutrophils counts and all were very low. So they called me in an emergency situation. They told me to come to SDEC at Withinshaw. So the day before that, we had a prayer at my house because Pastor Ji told me that we all will come and pray for you. So on that time, Pastor Ji, he read a Bible verse which says that I will go through the valley of death, but I will not die. But I am going to go through that valley. And then Pastor Ji prayed for me a lot. And before going to SDEC, they did my bloods and all. And then they told me I have to do a chest X-ray. So I sent a voice message to Pastor Ji and I said, my bloods are done. I'm not well, because I was alone that day. And Pastor Ji sent me a voice message. I still remember. He told me, Kunye, your blood reports may be abnormal, and your any report may be abnormal, but you don't panic, don't be sad. This church eteduthu prarthikkunna oru vishayama. He told me like that. So suddenly in my mind I thought, okay, everybody's praying for me, I know. And then I went to do my chest X-ray. So after my X-ray, I remember they called me to a very very close room, and the doctor was a bit hesitant to say, so I asked him, like, what's the matter? He said, you have a lot of patches in your lung and it looks like malignancy. So for a minute I couldn't believe, I couldn't digest it. So I asked him, did you say malignancy? He said yes. So then I was like, can you identify malignancy in a chest X-ray? So he said no, but it 90% looks like malignancy. It can be some other diagnosis also. So then I said, okay. And then they said, we'll book you for a CT after 2 weeks. So by then I told the doctor, if it's lung cancer, will I survive till then? If you all are delaying so much, my condition will be worsened. So he said, we don't have another option. And I remember I came out, I called Pastor G, because I didn't know what to do. I took the phone and called Pastor G and I said, I got this news. And then I was, in my family group, I told them I need to go for a CT scan after 2 weeks. And then I remember I came out of SDEC and I thought I should go inside and rebuke the place where I sat. And I said, I don't have any cancer, I believe. And I came out. And I sent a message to my sister saying that I'm coming home, I don't have some good news. When I reached home, I had not told Achin anything. So Achin opened the door and he was crying. So I thought, suddenly I knew that he told me that something is wrong. I said, no, everything is okay. But when he started crying, and we all cried, our children, especially Gianna, she was thinking what happened. And then she asked me, Mommy, what happened to you? Are you sick? I said, yeah, Mona, I'm sick. Then he said, Mommy, do you have any disease that our Appa has? Do you have tumor? I said, no, no, I don't. So then she smiled, and then I thought that for me, childcare was a big issue. I couldn't take care of my children because I was that sick. And then I thought I thought about my mummy and daddy and about going to India. I remember I called Mary Chechi to ask, Chechi, can I go, take a leave and go? And that time I told Chechi all these things, what the doctor said. And at the same time, Achin was talking to Ben Achin. Ben Achin asked, can we come home? But our home, like the situation was so disturbed, Achin said no. But in my mind, I said, I need somebody to pray for me. So I messaged Mary Chechi and I said, Chechi, please come home. Can you please pray for me? And Chechi and all came. And then after that, Pastor Ji and Shaichan and many other members came, and they all started. We had a good time of prayer. At the end of the prayer, my health, I became really sick, and then they all prayed for me and left, and we didn't book the ticket till then. And I told Achin, we'll pray in the morning. If it's God's will, we'll go to India. Because for me, taking care of Edu was really difficult at that time. And then the morning, we booked a ticket in the morning for that evening, and we left to India. So I'd already called my family doctor, and I told all the things because I didn't want to waste much time. When I went in, he told me, no, cancer is the last option for us. It looks like some liver issues or some stomach issues. But when they started doing bloods, all my reports came negative. So they diagnosed me as fever of unknown origin. And then it was a very hard time for them to diagnose. And then my family doctor told me it looks like query brucellosis. So to be very honest, I've never heard of this disease. So we searched on Google, and we got to know, okay, this is a very rare disease. It's not there in the UK, and the treatment is only for 6 weeks. So I thought, oh, thank God, like in 6 weeks I'll be fine. Then after that, they shifted me to so the family doctor told me I have to meet the infectious disease doctor, and then I was shifted to a hospital, to a very good hospital in Mumbai. When I went there, my condition was getting bad day by day. I started with vomiting. So when I talk about vomiting, it's not like vomiting 1 or 2 times. I used to sleep on the sick bowl. I used to continuously vomit my gastric juice also. And then I used to drink water, eat some amount of food, I used to vomit it all. So they kept me on IV fluids at the time. And as days passed, my health started becoming more bad. And I had my home church people coming and praying for me. So when they used to pray for me, they used to cry a lot. So I started thinking, why are they crying so much? Maybe there is some problem in my report. They're not telling me. Because I had all my scans and all done. But I never saw my report, because I thought, as a nurse, if I see my report, I'm going to think a lot about it. So the doctors used to come and tell me what my report is, and I used to be okay. I never read through my reports. So in my mind, started thinking that there's something wrong with my health. And one day when I was sleeping, I saw a dream that I've been walking through a stairs, and there are a lot of snakes on the stairs, and I'm thinking in my mind, oh, how am I going to cross this way? And suddenly all the snakes, they're around my body, and they're trying to choke me. And I got scared, and I got up. And from that day, I cannot say I was not anxious. I was really anxious. And the very evening, I started hearing a very sharp voice in my ear. That voice is like a man's voice laughing in my ear, laughing at me and saying that, look at your condition, you're never going to be okay. You left India and with much big dreams you went to UK, but look at your condition, look how poor you are. You can't take care of your children, you can't take care of your husband or your family, and look now, your health is so worse. The doctors have not even diagnosed you yet, so you're going to die. So initially when I heard the voice, I was so scared. I thought, I don't want to die because I want to live a life. I've not done anything in this earth. So, but then that voice constantly for 3 days kept talking to me and saying that you will die, you will not live. So I couldn't understand, from where the voice is, who the voice is, but I kept talking to that voice constantly. And then one day, I remember that I thought, okay, I was prepared that I'm going to die. And I thought, okay, if I'm going to die, I have to do certain things before we die. So then that voice told to me, like, you have maybe 5 days left in your life. So I thought, okay. And then I started preparing for my death, to be honest. I started asking forgiveness. I started remembering all the sins that I've done from my childhood. But I couldn't remember, like, the sins that I've done in my adulthood because my brain stopped working. And then one day, twice when I was sleeping, I've seen my own funeral. I've seen people coming around me, and then I've seen people crying. I've seen my daughter crying for me. So the only the grief that I had was I thought that I can never see my church members again. And then in the same time, I'm thinking, oh, that's fine. Nowadays everything is live on YouTube. They can see me. It's okay. And then I should not talk much. At the same time, my condition became more poor. The doctors, because they took the test for brucellosis, but it takes time for the report to come. So in that period, I started losing my eyesight. When I say eyesight, I was so sensitive to light. I couldn't open my eyes and look at light. I would look at a light. When I used to look, I used to feel sharp torch. Somebody's putting sharp torch in my eyes. And slowly I was sensitive to noise. I used to get so irritated when people used to talk. Even when Achin used to talk on the phone, I used to get angry. And every time I remember Achin used to tell, Pastor Ji sent this message, hear it. And I should feel that it's like a honeybee, when honeybee buzzes in your ear, that is the exact sound I heard. So I understood that I'm day by day, as days go by, I'm losing one senses. And then suddenly I couldn't eat at all. I started with severe vomiting. Even one small morsel of food I couldn't eat. And then after time passed, I was still becoming more sick. And then one fine day they said they have to go for bone marrow because they doubted that I maybe have some blood disease. And I was all ready because I have a good pain threshold. So I was very, the doctors came to prepare me, but I was very prepared and confident. But when I underwent the procedure, I believe that's the most painful procedure amongst all the other procedures, because I had a very, very bad time. I suffered a lot with that procedure. And then I was asking God, you have to relieve me from this pain. I can't take this pain, I can't take this pain anymore. So and after that, I had a lot of pain. I had back pain because I didn't know that my brucella is spreading to different organs of my body. And after 3-4 days, I started limping. So one day when I was walking to the toilet, I saw that my left side, I'm limping left side. So then Achin told me, why are you limping? Is everything okay? So I started thinking that I have some neuro problems. But as the voice I heard said, I'm going to die. So I said, it's fine now. I'll end up in all these things and maybe I'll die. So then Achin told me, let's tell the doctors. I said, no, it's fine. It will go in 2-3 days. And then slowly I started losing my bladder control, my bowel control. I had to use bedpans. I wanted to tell that I want to go to the toilet, or I was on diapers, but still I used to wet the bed at all times. So all these things, really, I thought that I don't want to be in this condition. So I prayed to the Lord. I said, Lord, I ask you 2 things. I don't want to be handicapped in my life at all. And the other thing is, I love to sing. I love music. So I told the Lord, never take my voice away. These 2 things I really asked for, because I said I don't want to be a burden on anybody. And slowly, I know the church was earnestly praying for me. Everybody prayed for me. They were constantly in contact with Achijan. But to be very honest, I had like, it's a brain fog. I couldn't understand things. I didn't know what is happening in the surrounding. I could see people like very, very tiny structures. Achijan used to tell me, open your eyes. You have to see light. But I couldn't. We didn't know that these are all signs of brucellosis. However, my health improved a bit later, and they said, I did a liver biopsy and they confirmed it is TB of the liver, and I got my brucellosis report where my levels are very high. So I remember the day the doctors diagnosed me. The doctor came running to hug Ajachan, saying that we finally found out that she is brucella positive. So then slowly, I started improving. I started eating morsels of food. Then I told the doctors I look fine. They said, yeah, you're fine, you're on oral medication. I said, I want to go home. I thought if I be at home, I see my children, mommy and daddy, I'll be a bit more better. We came home, and I was so happy. Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell the main important thing is, when I was in Jupiter, when I heard this voice, I was very depressed. And before that, I went for this is the most important part of my testimony, I went for an ultrasound. So I was so sick, I couldn't walk. They took me in the, like on the bed, they took me to the ultrasound on the ground floor. And when I couldn't see, my eyes were sensitive, so I used to always be under the blanket or the bed sheet. And then when I went on the ground floor, there was, as you know, the corridor has a lot of light. And that lights were hurting my eyes so much. I kept quiet and I slept with the blanket on. And I remember they told me, because it's a bed, you have to wait. And I was waiting. And when I was waiting, there was like, I saw that there's a plain wall, a cream color wall at the right side of where I'm sleeping. And I opened my eyes. I couldn't see the wall initially. But later, I saw a very sharp, a very bright light coming from that wall. And I was thinking like, and I opened my eyes slowly. And when I opened my eyes slowly, I could see that light clearly. And my eyes didn't hurt after looking at the eyes. And I heard God's word, like God speaking to me. I will never leave you nor forsake you. And then God spoke to me saying, don't forget the promises that I have kept for you. God also spoke to me, 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right side, but will not come near you. There are many, many verses the Lord started speaking to me. But to be very honest, I never knew these are Bible verses because my brain is not work much. I only heard that voice coming constantly in English to me, saying that I will never leave you, you will not die, you will not die. So I started crying that time, and suddenly I was filled with the Holy Spirit. I started speaking in tongues. Till then I couldn't speak much. So when I was, I believed at that time, there was some miracle that happened. I opened my eyes and I could see light. So I thank God, thank you Jesus for giving this healing. I went happily to the ultrasound, and but during that time, I've gone through a lot in my life. If I look, then God told me, look back at your life. Have I not healed you? Have I not touched you? I've done miraculous things in your life. How can you forget it? And then I started like a flashback, because we were waiting a long time there. Like a flashback, it went in front of my eyes. All the good things the Lord has done for me. And the first thing that I thought is, as everyone knows, during a prayer meeting when I was pregnant, Dr. Johnson Maimuna pastor told me that my child is going to be a promised child. So first God spoke to me, if your child is a promised child and you have to see him grow in the Lord, you have to be alive so you won't die. And then when I was then God took me to my younger age, and I've gone through a lot. I will very, very shortly say, and that's my testimony. When I was very young, 3 times I was supposed to be kidnapped by people. When I was 6 years old, I was supposed to be kidnapped. When I was in college, I remember there was a car with 4 people who almost pulled me into the car to take me away. But God saved me from there. Again, when I was working, I was alone in a train at around 11:30, and that time a man was chasing me, and I almost thought he's going to push me out of the train and kill me. But from all those circumstances, my Lord was with me as my guide. He never left me. So I started remembering all those things, and there are many other things. One day when I was in my hostel, I used to always feel very warm, so I used to always keep the bed under the fan and sleep. So one day, at 12 o'clock, my eyes, I opened my eyes and I saw it was raining. So I thought, oh, it's raining, I'll feel more cold. So I shifted my bed at the edge again, and in 5 minutes, the fan fell on the ground. It broke 6 tiles. So that time also I thought the Lord just saved me in some minutes. So all these things the Lord has done for me. And then as I grew, I've undergone a lot of health issues in my life. But from all that, God has healed me. When I was doing my master's, my first year and second year both, I had multiple sty in my eyes. Those styes, like it's not 1 or 2, it was 12 and 13 sty in my eyes. And that used to, used to bleed. I had pus coming down from my eyes. And then that used to hurt me a lot, but I believe that everything happens for a purpose. At that time also I never murmured. I just said, Lord, heal me, and I knew that there is a time for healing. It's to hurt me. But and then when I was doing my second year, I got Achichan's marriage proposal, and the same day I had a sty on my eye. So I told God that this is the worst thing that can happen to any girl. Lord, you have to heal me, and if I get married, I don't want to have this sty after going to Achichan's house. And I believe that's the time where God healed me completely. I've never got it ever in my life again. And after I got married, I remember when Gianna was 1.5 years, one day she came to hug me, and she, her nails hit my left cornea, and I had a corneal tear, just like how Shiba Jiji has. And for 3 years, I suffered from severe corneal tear, which used to give me severe pain, distress. I couldn't see well, all these problems. But I told God, I know, Lord, you will heal me. You'll never leave me. And then one day, a pastor who never knew me, he told me, he prayed for me, and I got healed that day. And after that, I've never got the disease again. And when I look back, when I delivered Edward, after 2 months, I was diagnosed with breast abscess. I should come to church. I don't know I have not told this to many. For 3 months, I suffered breast abscess. I used to go to the doctor. They used to inject and take out 120 ml of pus like every week. And I suffered a lot that time also. But I told the Lord, Lord, there is a time to heal. You will heal me. And I told the Lord, before my mummy and daddy leave from UK, you have to heal me. I can't be on bed all the time because I had temperatures, chills and all. And just like 15 days before my mummy and daddy left, God healed me. So all this went like a flashback in my life. And the Lord spoke to me, have I not healed you? I've healed you every time. So why are you doubting? You will not die. So I kept hearing God's voice that you will not die. So I was so happy at that time. I don't know, there was a special joy. And I went very happily to the sonography. When I came back, I have never used my phone till then because my eyes were sensitive. Achichan used to reply to all the messages. So suddenly I thought I should hear some music, some song. But to be very honest, I couldn't understand which song. So I only remembered Manchester Pentecostal Church. I typed it on YouTube. But I could see all messages by pastors. So in my mind, I'm saying, I don't want to listen to a message. I want to listen to a song urgently. I scroll down and I see Samson Brothers' song, which he sang in our convention. So I started it, and that also had a prasangam. So I thought, oh, I'm just going to fast forward it. I don't want to hear that part. And when I fast forwarded it, I did it too much. And I came to the stanza, Rogam ninne pidichanal, nail vaidyanameshu, egidum saukyam vegatil. I just heard that, and I heard that song. I was so happy, so relieved. The peace of God, I feel that it touched me. And then I thought that, no, I will live. Whatever problems come in my life, I will definitely live. I may limp, I may go through n number of problems, I will live. And then before I came to the UK, I have many pastors who have told me that you have to do ministry. And as you all know, it's not easy to do ministry, especially in a country called UK. So I always thought that, okay, I'm in the choir. That is also ministry. So, but Jesus spoke to me very clearly. That is a part of the ministry, but that is not your ministry. I will heal you, and you have to go out to the world and say how I've healed you. And you have to glorify my name. So I started understanding that my illness, first I should think that my illness is because of my, maybe some sins. But God spoke to me clearly saying that, you have to proclaim, you have to tell the world how I've healed you. You have to spread the gospel. So I always think, when Biji Chachi always tells that she spread the gospel to so-and-so people in the ward or somewhere else. So I always feel you need boldness to speak. speak. It's not easy to tell the word of God because you don't know the circumstances. You know what will be we don't know the outcome. So God spoke to me very clearly, and then we came home, and Achin told me, I was so happy. I just thought I should leave India, come back to UK anyhow. And Achin told me, can we book tickets? I was so happy. I said, yeah, book tickets. Happy that I'm going back from the place I came. Happy that God is going to heal me, and He will heal me. That faith, and I'm very happy that I'm going to see you all. And then, but after 2-3 days, suddenly my health deteriorated again, and I was admitted in the hospital. So I remember 3rd April was a flight. We had to leave home at 12 o'clock. Till 8 o'clock, I was in the hospital, sick. I couldn't move, but I told God, I've booked tickets. I need your grace anyhow to go. And the next thing that really, broke my heart was to leave Edward in India and come back, because I've never done that. I cried for 2 days. I never went through mental stress during my illness, but that separation caused a lot of mental stress to me. I couldn't believe that I'm going to back to the UK without him. But all those time, God's grace was with me. Whole flight I came back crying. I remember I couldn't sit on the seat because my body, I had severe body ache, I had severe pain, I had temperatures every 6 hourly that would settle solely with paracetamol. And I can say that for 150 days, more than 150 days, I had fever daily. So I believe today it's only God's grace that I stand here. It's not easy to have fever for 150 days and be alive, because I saw, after I was diagnosed, I saw so many people who have just passed away with a normal fever, who didn't even get a chance to get diagnosed. So when I thought about that, I said, my God is so good. I came back to the UK. I was okay initially, but again my health started becoming, bad. I was admitted at North Manchester Hospital because that's the infectious disease hub. And the vomiting was the main issue. They said, okay, we'll continue with brucellosis and TB medications. But at one time my liver enzymes were very poor. I couldn't take any medications. They said medications will worsen your liver. So because I was not taking any medications, I was asking God for healing. But to be very honest, I only saw healing of my eye. That is, I could see, I was still sensitive, but I could at least open my eyes. And also I was a bit okay with noise. So I was asking God, when are you going to heal me, Lord? I need healing. I came back to the UK. You told me I will not die. But I never got an answer from God. I was just waiting for that. And I used to get admitted with vomiting. The doctors used to give me IV medications and then discharge me. So one time they said, we'll just wait, stop all medications, we can't do anything. So around, I remember 15 days, I was not having any treatment. My liver enzymes, for those who know it, like if normal is 35, I had 500. And also I thought, Lord, am I ever going to be healed? What are these reports are so bad? But God spoke to me that you will be healed, don't worry. So at the same time, I had a lot of people coming and visiting me, praying for me. I had pastors praying for me from different, I don't even know from which all country people have prayed for me. And that is the only reason I believe today that my mental health never went down the whole 6 months. I can say, because everybody was scared that I may mentally be down and I will end up with something else. But I believe that because I heard God's word in India, God's voice in India, I was very sure that nothing can break me. I may be sad, I may cry, I may feel bad, but I will not break down. Mentally, I will not break down. There were many people who called me and said, Sneha, you don't have to mentally break down. I said, yeah, I'll be fine. I'll be okay. Then I just want to quickly wind up with my testimony. I went to my second admission. I stayed for 21 days. So I started with back pain again, severe back pain. I can't get up from the bed. So I told the doctors I'm not good. I have severe back pain. And they asked me, do you have headaches? So no headache, only back pain. And there was a time where I couldn't get up from the bed. I was like half bent. I go to the toilet. I can't sit down. If I sit down, I can't stand up. So they told me it looks like your brucellosis has spread. So we need to do some investigations. So I said, okay, yeah, that's fine. And at the same time, they had done brucellosis. They did brucellosis and they did TB again, but TB came negative and brucellosis came positive. So I was on treatment for brucellosis. And they did so when I went for my MRI scan, as we all always pray that, God, heal me. I know nothing will happen. We always have that words of faith. So when I was in my scan, they told me 30 minutes, but it took 1.5 hours for them to scan me. So I was just praying during that scan, and I told God, I believe there's nothing in my brain. Nothing will come out in my spine. And the doctors, like in I came from my scan, it was evening, and the doctors came and told me, Sneha, there's bad news. The brucella has spread in your brain and in your spine. So it was a big shock for me because I had prayed it should not spread. And then I remember I had, chest palpitations. I couldn't talk much. I said, how much has it spread? So he said, all over. Then I told him, I want to see my report. Please take a printout of my report. I would like to see my report. And at the same time, I had one of the church members who came to visit me. I wanted to cry out loud because they were present. I couldn't cry because I didn't want them to also, see that I'm going through the stage. I was so suffocated, I can say. And then after that, I told the Lord, I don't know what is happening with my life. I don't know why my organs are getting poor. I don't know how long this will go on. And then they were doing echo for me. So all my echoes used to come normal. And the next day they did an echo and they told me we can see some vegetation in your heart. So I said, what is, they said it's brucellosis. So I said, okay. And then they told me you have to undergo a procedure called TOE, that is for the heart. They told me that, I said, okay. I went for the procedure, actually, they give sedation for the procedure. So I thought, oh, that's fine, finally I'll not have any pain, I'll be sedated. But unfortunately, I can say, when they sedated me, my BP went very low because I'm already hypertensive. And they told me, we are sorry, we can't sedate you. And for 1.5 hours, I remember I went through intense pain, choking, I couldn't breathe. So then I spoke to the Lord and said, Lord, I don't want to hear a report saying that my heart is wrong because everything else is fine. And then at the end of the scan, the doctor said, Sneha, we are sorry. Would you like to see your heart? I said, yes. And then they showed me the aortic valve. So when the valve opens and closes, I had a big mass at the end of the aortic valve. And that I could see that mass flickering when it's opening and closing. And they said, you have a big vegetation, a big mass at the end of your heart. And I asked the doctor, what is the outcome of this? They said, oh, we'll discuss with you. And they came to meet me and said, we have no other medical options. You have to go for an aortic valve replacement surgery. And then that broke me so much. I thought, Lord Jesus, I'm praying for healing, but day by day I get bad reports, When the doctors used to walk in, I should really get palpitation thinking, what next news are they going to bring to me? They kept telling me, because the doctors here are straightforward, they kept telling me, Sneha, we are sorry to see your condition. This is a very wrong combination. You have turned from acute brucellosis to chronic brucellosis, and it is all around your head. So the doctors used to come and do neurological assessment every day twice. So I used to think, like, why are they so much worried about my neurological status? Then I came to know that if you have if you have brucellosis in the brain, you can end up with seizures, you can end up with meningitis and different problems. And my MRI showed, when I saw my MRI report, I was so devastated. I saw every column in my spine has something that is wrong. I had C6 bulge, disc bulge, I had lesions, I had rupture. So I thought, Lord, what is the way that you're going to heal me without these medicines? Because it's a very complicated stage. And the doctors kept telling me, you're very complicated, you're a very rare case. We never saw a case in the UK. We have so much experience. So I knew all these things. And one day, there was a doctor who used to always come and tell me, when he used to see me, Sneha, it's very unusual. You're very unlucky. You're so young. You got this disease. You know the prognosis well. Because they used to try to make me understand that the prognosis is poor. I won't be healed very soon. So one day I cried and I told, I may be unlucky for you all, but I'm not unlucky for my Jesus. And then, because I never heard any good news, every day, my day used to be so harder. But I believe only prayers kept me strong. And after that, I got discharged. My third admission, I remember, it was night 12 o'clock. I was so sick at home. I felt that I'm going to collapse and fall somewhere. We went to A&E. I just collapsed on the nurse's desk. They took me to resus. and when they did all the bloods, I had severe liver injury, I had kidney injury, I had all my tests deranged, and I had severe abdomen pain and vomiting. So they did an emergency CT scan. In the morning, the doctor came and told me, the CT is normal. So I was so happy. I thought, oh, my CT is normal. So in that excitement, I asked the doctor, is my CT normal? What do you mean I have become okay? So she was so angry and so upset. She told me, what do you think about your disease? Do you think that in a snap you're going to be healed? I meant no, it's normal means it's not gone worse. And then she told me, I'll give you an example of your health for you to understand better. Your health, your body is like when you put a bomb in a place, that area, the whole area is like whatever you do, it's hard to repair that area. So your body is like somebody has put a bomb in your body. You will never be healed of whatever damage has happened to you. And all, as you know, all your organs are affected. So we can just symptomatically treat you, but you will take 2-3 years to come out of this. So but these doctors' words would never bother me much. I never went down. I should feel bad, but I was never down with this. And then I came, I was still in the hospital. I was admitted there for 14 days. And then they told me, okay, you're doing well. I started eating. They told me, okay, you can get discharged. So we were preparing for a discharge in the evening, and the doctors come again saying, Sneha, there's one more bad news. You can't go home. But I wanted to go home because Mummy, Daddy, and Edu were coming. So I was so happy, excited to see him finally. But the doctors told me, we thought you are not TB, but now you are severe TB. You are multi-drug resistant TB. And then they said, you're a nurse, you know it, and you have got a very bad combination. Brucellosis and TB is the worst combination ever. We don't know how long you'll take to recover. And then they said, you're resistant to many drugs. I don't know, like me and Achachan, we were just looking at each other. I told, okay. I didn't know what to say. I thought then Achachan said, no, it's all about time, we'll pray. Then I told the Lord, because I still had pain, I still had fever continuously. I couldn't get up from my bed. I had back pain. Then I should always pray for, a divine healing. I should tell God, touch me. But then I never found that divine healing, to be very honest, initially. So one day, God was speaking to me, like, if you're praying, you are telling me the way how I should heal you. So that's my way. That's not your way. It's my time. You can't tell me to heal you at this time. So then I thought, God, my prayer is, the way I'm praying is not correct. I told the Lord, you take your time, but just heal me. Heal one organs at a time, but just heal me. And then I started noticing that by God's grace, as days passed, my eyesight became clear. I could see people clearly. I could see the phone, and then what was sensitive noise, I could hear clearly. And then I was waiting for more miracles to happen. And before I was discharged from the hospital, that's the main thing. Because before I was discharged, they had done a liver CT scan, liver MRI for me to know how far my disease has worsened. And they didn't report they didn't give the report for 14 days. So I was so worried. I thought, what's wrong with this report? There's something wrong. I'm not seeing the report. And then one day at night, I was sleeping. At 12 o'clock, I was so sad. I started praying. So I started praying. When it was 3 o'clock, I didn't even realize that 3 hours have passed. And the Lord told me clearly, I will heal every part of your body. I will heal you. And the next day, the doctors come with the report. And I remember it was it was an Indian doctor who knew Hindi. So she came up to me and she said, okay, this is your report. When I saw my report, I could see my liver is normal. So my kidneys are normal. I thought, am I reading it right? And then I kept reading it. And then I told the doctor, can you see, does it say my liver is normal? She said, yeah, it's normal. And then I cried loudly. So she said, you should be happy. I said, oh, these are joy, tears of joy, not sadness. And I could tell, because during my entire process, when I talk about boldness, when God does something in your life, you get bold to tell it to people. During this hospital stay, God gave me the chance to share the gospel to many people, to healthcare assistants, to nurses, to doctors who told me, because they knew medically I'll never be okay. My prognosis is very poor, but I knew there's a God who will heal me and will definitely heal me. And then And when I told, she was a Hindu doctor. I told her how good Jesus is, how Jesus healed me. I told her how my report was, and she was so shocked. She was like, I can't believe that in such few months the liver can be completely normal. Then I told her, you know what your doctor said? Your doctor said that I will take 2 to 3 years to recover, but it's only my Jesus who has healed me. So then she looked and she smiled at me and went. And then I had lost a lot of weight. I was very skinny. They started me on steroids. The day they started me on steroids, I stopped getting fever and pain. And I feel that was the best days of my life, because I was away from pain. And mommy and daddy came at the same time. So I was so thankful to God that they don't have to see me suffer with all those things. And then as days went by, I started getting treatment. I was treated. And by God's grace, initially, I couldn't take the medications. I used to vomit all the medications that I've taken. So one day when I was taking initial treatment, when me, Chechi and Arjun, we all were praying, I saw a capsule, a green color capsule going in front of my eyes, and it was falling somewhere. So I was thinking, I didn't understand whether it's like what it is. And again, it was coming in front of my eyes and falling away. So after the prayer ended, I told all of them that I saw a green color capsule. And then my Chechi told, oh, it's that capsule, which you can't tolerate at all. So then I asked the Lord, oh my God, if it is falling away, is it going from my life, and how will I get treated? Because that's the most important drug. However, because I was chronic brucellosis, they had to stop that medication and give me other medications. And by God's grace, I could tolerate and take all my medications. Only God's grace, I can say, because there were times where I couldn't drink like a a sip of water. There were times I couldn't take a morsel of food. I've been like, I have lack of sleeping. I had lack of sleeping for many days. For 3 days, 3 nights, I would not sleep. They had to give me some medications to make me sleep. But when I look back, I can say my Lord has just brought me out from all of this, And when I used to meet the doctors should just say, just wait. So one day the Lord spoke to me saying, it's not your time, it's my time. And I will heal you in my time. Just wait for that time. So I told Lord, I'll wait. Like maybe I can wait how much ever years, but you have to reduce my suffering. I can't suffer anymore, because this is really causing me so much stress in my life. So then, but to be honest, I still had body pains, temperatures. So I started thinking, okay, if God has healed me so much, the Lord will definitely heal my fever and body pain. That's not a big thing for me. And when I was getting discharged, I asked them, you all told me that there's a mass in my aortic valve. They said, oh, it's sorted. You don't have to worry about it. So I said, but you all have not done a scan. How do you all know it's sorted? They said, yeah, it looks like it will sort with medication. But I thought, okay, they've not done a scan. It's fine. And I was happy. I told everyone there's nothing in my heart. But to be honest, deep inside, I thought, oh, they've not done any investigation. They should have done an echo at least. But I believe by faith that I'm healed. And then, as I said, my liver healed. My spleen has had multiple granulomas that has come down to very minute ones. And God healed my kidneys. God healed my heart. I came happily, but my bloods, which were so high, I can't even tell you all. My liver was so deranged. It all came back to normal. I thought, Lord, this is and I had, as my daddy once said, I had 10,000 people, more than 10,000 people praying for me all over the world. So when the nurses who came to treat me at home, they saw me from my initial stage till the end. So later, when I was okay, they said, Sneha, we thought you'll not make it. Sorry to say that we thought you will be gone soon. I said, I also thought the same. There were 5 nurses. I could spread the gospel to all of them, saying that how my Jesus healed me. It's not easy to go through this process. And because brucella is not common in the UK, I joined a Facebook group which has 756 members with brucellosis all across the world. And when they every day send messages, I'm depressed, I'm going to do suicide, and I can't take this body pain, I can't take this. So when I read, I met 2 people with brain brucellosis who are having severe seizures, meningitis. I just thanked my Lord, my God. Like I went through all this, but nothing ever. I never had any symptoms of it, because when when it is brain, it's not easy. And the doctors came, when the doctors used to do my examination, one day they asked me, "You don't have any symptoms. Are you hiding anything from us?" So I told them, "Why should I hide? I'm a nurse. I will never do that." Because they said, because they used to be surprised that I had very bad reports but no symptoms. They used to make me walk around. They used to check my muscle strength, my bones, and my spine. They used to press my spine much harder to see if I have pain. But my God had healed me. So I said, "No, I don't have pain." So they used to look up to me with very question mark, like, am I like, because what reports they saw and what symptoms I showed were not the same. So I only believe it's God's God's grace on me, that I am here today. And then when I was here, one day the doctors told me we have to repeat brucellosis. I said, okay, it's a routine test. And to their surprise and to my surprise, I never expected my brucella was 1:640 in the month of April. It came negative and normal. So the doctor called me and said, "Oh, this is like very, I don't know what to say. Okay, you're brucella negative." So I thanked the Lord so much. I was so happy. I said, "Oh Lord, I thank you that you're healing me day by day. I can just thank you." And then I had MDR-TB. So the main thing is they told me, even though you're MDR, 1% chance of being infectious. So that broke my heart, because I had met so many people. I met all of you all. I met my family members, my friends. I thought, Lord, if you give me a TB that is infectious, I won't bear it, because I can't see people suffering because of me. They all will have to suffer. But in few weeks, it came out and they declared me non-infectious. I thank my God for that. It's every minute things the Lord has done in my life and is doing. And my last time when I had a visit, they had done my bloods and all, and my urine also, and that also has come negative for TB. So they told me, even though you are negative and you are free of disease, but you have to continue with the treatment. I said, yes, I know that. But in my mind, I kept saying that it's all God's grace, it's all prayers, nothing else. Because I know from the day I left India, from that time till like today, the entire church has prayed, I can say 24 hours for me. There were prayer groups, there were chain prayer. I could hear Adichan talking, Chechi telling that, the entire church is crying. And when I was leaving UK, everybody called me to wish me, and everybody was crying. I had so many people call me and crying. And then I thought oh, I got a church who loves me so much. I never cried because I was in a state of shock, to be honest. But everybody called me and said, Sneha, nothing will happen. You go, you'll be safe. And especially a blessed brother called me and said, Sneha, I've gone through something. Don't think about anything. So I thought, yeah, I will not. And I don't know why. I think God blocked my mind of having cancer. I never thought about that. Because the whole journey, I just thought it is something worse maybe, but I never thought about cancer. Because there was a time where everybody told me, pray Sneha, pray, you have to pray for your disease. And I went through a phase where I couldn't pray at all. I was so numb. I couldn't read the Bible, I couldn't pray. So then I cried and I told Chechi, I can't pray, I'm not able to pray. So then Chechi told me, we serve a God who is our Father. If an earthly father knows what the child needs, your heavenly Father knows what you need. You don't have to pray, Sneha. You just remain still. As you all know, we have a city line prayer, and I was a part of it. And from the day I was sick, there were so many sisters in that who have never seen me, but they all prayed for me like I'm their own daughter, I'm their own sister. They cried. Chechi started prayer in the morning just for me. And Chechi one day told me, Mola, when you go through some experience in your life, that is only when you can speak about Jesus. And that really hit me hard, because I believe that you can tell about Jesus only if you have gone through something. And today I stand here and say that if Jesus gives me a life, I will live for Him. I will share the gospel to many. I will tell many people how God healed me. It doesn't mean I don't want to take everybody's name, because I've already crossed my time. But I know the entire church has prayed for me. Each and everyone has messaged us, called us, stood by us as a family, helped us when we were down. Thanks is a very small word that I can give back to you. Thank you, the entire church, for praying me, from children to youth to the adults, and everybody upholded me in their prayers. When the doctors felt that I will never stand up in my life, today I'm here as a living testimony, standing, walking normally in front of you all. It's only God's grace and your prayers, I believe. So I believe believe prayers has a lot of power. So there are a lot of pastors, and there are a lot of people who have prayed for me. I thank everyone from the bottom of the heart. And I just want to tell one thing and end my testimony. You may go a lot through in your life. When you look at your journey, you may feel that everything is not right. You may feel tired. You may feel distressed. You may complain. But remember one thing, that when you go through all, God gives you trials and tribulations in your life, but He gives you the grace to overcome it. And in Bible it says He'll never leave you, He'll never forsake you. So if you have anything, maybe you will be jobless, maybe you have financial crisis, because I've gone through all of them. So today when I stand here, I believe that, you may stress about n number of things, but as Pastor Ji said today, God's plan is different. You may plan n number of things, and me and my Achachan used to sit and plan. So today I stand here and say that our plan doesn't work. When we make plans, God has plans for us that is better for us, and that is the best for us. And every sickness or every distress in your life makes you closer to God. When I look at my journey, and I feel that how did I suffer, how did I endure so much pain? But today I feel that it's all fine. It's fine. God brought me out of it. So I can just say that if you're going through some pain, just remember it's temporary. God is going to take you out of it. And there is a time, as Pastor said, there is a time where God is going to lift you up from whatever you are. And today I believe it is my time today, where God has lifted me up from a very, from a place where nobody believed I would go. Because when people heard my diagnosis, everybody was shocked. Even I was shocked, to be honest. So I believe if God has brought me here, and if you go through any pain or suffering, just remember me, remember my journey. And if God has healed me, there is a God who will definitely heal you. Lastly, I just want to thank my family. Without that, it's incomplete. I thank my mom and dad for coming all the way. I know they've gone through a lot, from seeing me cry, seeing me sick. I've never seen my dad crying generally, but my daddy has cried a lot for me. So I used to feel bad that because of me in their old age, they have to see such days. And I used to feel that I'm a burden for everybody. But later God told me, you're not a burden. You're a blessing. You're not a burden for anybody. And I thank my Chechi. I remember when I left the UK, she told me, you brought me to UK and you're going. I said, I'll come back. Don't worry. I'll come back healthy. Because she was crying a lot. And she has taken care of me like more than words I can say. And lastly, I want to thank my Achachan. At times I thought, no man can take care of their wife so much. Because Achachan has seen me go through every single bad phase of my life. It was very hard for him, hard for me. At times I asked Achachan, have you been tired of me? Do you feel like it's done? So he said no. He said, when we take, it is sukkathilum dukkathilum. So we had sukkam oladusam. This is dukkathil at the time. I thank my Lord for giving me him, because he has taken care of me like a child. He has taken care of all my needs. Once again, I just submit myself to do the will of God. And as I said, if God gives me this life, He has given me this life, I would like to minister and to go forward in this ministry, because I know this is what the will of God is for me. Once again, I request you all to please uphold me in your prayers. A big thank you to each and every one. May God bless you all abundantly. And thank you for upholding me in your prayers. And I love you all. Amen.